All right, everyone. This episode of Wrestle Magic, we are having an interview with Mr. Heath Slater / Heath Miller. Now, with me will be King Scully, and I'm really excited for this one because I remember growing up and watching this guy and kind of envisioning myself a little bit in him, just because I think we had kind of similar body styles and everything. I was like, I feel like I could be like him. So, Mr. Miller, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm great. I am great. Hey, hold on. How big are you?
I mean, I'm currently about 160, about 5'9", so,
Man, I'm about 6'2", 240 right now.
Fair. Growing up, I was always skinny, so, I was just, 2010, I was, whatever, I was only like 12 or whatever, so I was thinking, I feel like I could potentially fill out his body style and everything, so.
You were 12 years old in 2010?
Well, yeah, I was born in 98, man, so, yeah.
Hey, okay. I graduated high school in 2002.
Oh,
you weren't even in kindergarten.
Yeah.
You make me
I'm more your age, and I'm more your age.
Yeah, where you at? How old are you?
I'm 38, 39 this year.
Okay, yeah, we're around the same genre right there. I'm 42 now, so it's like I'm getting up there. I have a good handful of years left to really get at it, so it's like, I'm pushing the envelope a little bit myself. But
at least you got all your hair there.
I'm about to say, I still got that, man.
A lot of my friends your age are bald.
Hey, I had a couple friends in high school, man, that was going bald, when they were like 17, to where it's like, oh, bro, not good.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is that they're bald on top, but they can grow the best damn beard that you could ever see. To where it's like, dude, what it don't make sense, but at least like God made them with a good head. You know what I mean? It's like they don't look good. They don't look bad bald.
No, my brother-in-law is the same. He's got a perfect beard, but he's bald on top.
Right? Yeah, man, there's something going on with that.
It's not fair. I can't grow a beard. I get all patches everywhere.
Right? Yeah, you're almost 40.
Yeah. One day I'll be able to, hopefully.
One day.
One day. So while we were organizing this, Mr. Miller, at one point you thought this was a rib, man. What was going on with that between you two? That you guys weren't connecting or something? What's going on with that?
Well, it was funny because he reached out to, just reaching out. Hey, man, we like to get an interview with you, this and that. So I'm like, yeah, sure, man. We can do that, this and that. And then it was the dates to where it was like his date couldn't work. My date couldn't work. His date couldn't work. I mean, because he wanted to do it with both of you, but he didn't want it just you to do it or him to do it. He wanted, it to be a team thing, which I totally understand. It got to the point to where I said, man, is this a rib? Like someone messing with me? And then I just thought, it was someone just found my email, start, just playing a joke. And he was like, no, man, that's not a rib at all. I said, well, you tell me a date that you two both can be there. And I said, I'll figure it out and we can make it work. And then here we are.
I apologize about the schedule being confusing and all that. Things can be difficult.
Hey. Oh, brother, I totally get it, man. I've been in this business long enough to know that, shit happens all the time. So, sorry. Poop happens all the time, But it's just, it's what you make of it,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a little awkward back and forth because I was busy certain days and everything. And then Scully was busy different days as well. So it was like, oh, man, how are we going to make this work? And you know what? Hey, we're on a Monday night. It's working out. No problems, right? Man. Really appreciate you being on the show and everything. Scully, do you want to open up this one?
Yeah, why not? Let's start at the beginning because that's how we like to start this show. So right. What was it like growing up for Mr. Heath Miller?
Brother, I was a small town boy in a little town called Pineville, West Virginia, man. There's probably 750 people that lived in that little city. So when I say small town, it was like everyone knew your business. Everyone knew everybody. That's just how it was, period. And I always played sports, basketball, baseball, football, but I always had a love for wrestling also. So in between seasons and stuff, like we would all have like this group of guys and we would backyard wrestle. So like we would watch it all the time and then go out there on a trampoline that we had tires underneath it that was with mattresses to like pad it up just so it wouldn't make you bounce everywhere when you would try to take a bump on it and everything. So it was like we would have it cushioned enough to where when you would fall, it would just be a little boom instead of a holy crap, I'm gonna fall off this thing. But dude, it was just so much fun, and I was just an ornery kid, man. Like I loved sports, I loved wrestling. I just was active. I got in trouble a lot, so it just there's not a lot to do in a small town. But went to college, played some basketball, messed up, got kicked out. Next thing you know, went home, told my mom I wanted to wrestle. She thought I was nuts. And then I talked to my grandfather and he was for it, So then my grandfather got my mom on board. And then next thing you know, my butt was heading to Atlanta, Georgia to a wrestling school.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool, man. And you mentioned playing basketball in college. What position were you playing, man?
Yeah, well, I was shooting guard like throughout my whole years like of high school and everything. But when I got to college, they wanted to make me a point guard because I wasn't the tallest on the team. It was just that's where the coach thought I would be best at. And my handles was not good for point guards. Like I was a smart player, but I wasn't, the best with the handles and all the other stuff, And then it was just when I got there and started playing, I was like, man, there's no way I'm going to make it to the NBA. Like these guys are so much better than me. So it was just like, I kind of just quit caring. And it was just, I wish I just would have stuck through it, and just went through it and done it. But I went a different path, man, so life changes sometimes.
Yeah, man, nothing wrong with that. I mean, you went down a path that I feel like you really wanted anyways. So going down to Atlanta, Georgia, whose school was that? And what was the name of it, if you're able to say?
The school was WWA4. And the owner of the whole building and school, his name was Frank. But then the trainer of the school was Mr. Hughes. You know who Mr. Hughes is, right?
Unfortunately, not off the top of my head.
Yeah, he was
Curtis Hughes, isn't it?
Yeah, Curtis Hughes. Yeah, so he was like a bodyguard gimmick, always wore sunglasses in the ring, beat up the Undertaker, managed, or he was like Harley Race's and Lex Luger's bodyguard in WCW for a little bit and everything. So it's like I got trained by him and this guy named Pistol Pez Watley, Abdullah the Butcher, Rocky King, like those are like the four guys that like got their hands on me first down there when I moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Scully, you want to go into the next question, man?
Yeah. You started when you first, after WWA, it was FCW. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, it was Deep South.
Deep South and then FCW, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was it like in FCW? Because that was like where a lot of the WWE people started, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, man. FCW was it was like the fountain of knowledge of wrestling for all of us, man. It was just you had Dr. Tom Pritchard. That's probably by far one of the best trainers ever in professional wrestling. And when I say best, he's had his hands on everybody. Like, there's not a wrestler that you don't see on television today that hasn't been seasoned by Dr. Tom, So, like, to me, learning from him and just getting his knowledge, it just helped me so much to where I had more confidence than I knew what to do with. And I would just go out there and do my best, but have fun doing it. And because that's the way he preached all the time was like, if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? So go out there and make sure you have a damn good time. So, but then with Dr. Tom, you had Steve Kern, Skinner, so his mind thinks different than Tom's to where you getting this other like scoop of ice cream of knowledge. And then with him, it came Billy Kidman. Billy Kidman, cruiserweight, knows his high flying, knows all this. And then with that, you got Norman Smiley, which he's like entertaining, a technician, knows how to work probably every style of wrestling there is. And then with all of that, you have Dusty Rhodes being, the promo coach, to where if you can't learn from him to cut a good promo, I mean, who are you going to learn from? So we had this team of, coaches that were just amazing and awesome. And man, did they help us. And like FCW still today is some of the best times of my life when it comes to the wrestling business.
Interesting. So learning under Dusty, what were some really big takeaways that you got from him? Because I feel like he is a monumental name in the wrestling business. Even today, we still look back at some of his old promos and like they still make me smile a little bit. Just like, it's a little goofy sometimes in the hokey 80s style, but he really knew how to entertain. So what were some takeaways you got from Dusty?
Brother, that was the one thing that he would preach to us, his personality and entertainment. I mean, he was just like, you would have to sell the people in the building. You have to make the promo entertaining. You have to make the story entertaining, because Dusty did it all, like from writing to, running the thing to managing to wrestling to, everything, from on screen and behind. So it's just like when you have him coaching you and telling you, you're just like a sponge, man. Like you're just trying to soak everything up. Some stuff will work for you great and some stuff just doesn't, because people can give you advice, but sometimes it will and won't work for you, But Dusty was always that guy that would preach confidence. You got to have confidence while you're talking, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. So that's what I always got from it, to where it's like, man, if I'm coming out here and cut this promo, I better be mad as hell or, sad or something to get those people to care and feel the energy that I'm trying to give off. And Dusty just was really good at that.
Oh, I hear that. I mean, I believe it was when we interviewed Donovan Dijak. He had mentioned he had taken a lot of acting classes, and a big part of acting is just making yourself believe you were in that situation.
Oh, yeah.
So that definitely makes a lot of sense what you're saying. I've never really thought about, like, when you go out there to do a promo, you have to act as you have the confidence, because otherwise they're not going to believe what you're saying. I've never really thought about that. That's really interesting.
I mean, think about any movie, Heath Ledger, if he ain't acting like the Joker, then no one's going to buy into it. I mean, it's just like every person has that character, and every person has to they're either going to do great with it or not, so you have to try to become it. I mean, you have to.
That's true. You really got to take on the character as best as you can and really put something out there for the crowd to believe in.
For sure.
Scully, you want to go ahead, man?
Yeah, so following that, obviously, we had the Nexus.
And,
and I can see your little thing in the background.
Oh, yeah, he's back there.
Yeah, I can see it. The Nexus, I don't really want to go too much into this, but I know I heard that John Cena buried it. Is that correct?
Well, what it was that John Cena built us up to be, like the super group, because, he wanted us to be that threat and everything. Like, John was behind us a lot. It was just SummerSlam happened, and next thing you know, we were walking in winning. And then by the time SummerSlam was about to start, man, everything changed. So there's only a few people that has that power. And the stories has already been out there and talked about. So it's just one of those things where you're like, man, really? Like, you couldn't like build that Avengers group, at Mania and come in and take us all out, But it's just what it is, man. It's like, you can't go in the past and change none of it. So you live with it. But like, if it was him that just walked in there and said something, like, I don't know if that's happened. But it's just what I heard through the grapevine was someone wanted to change the finish.
Typical. I've heard a lot about last minute changes happening, but something that I did want to ask you about was as a group, as the Nexus, did you guys or anybody in the group have any sort of creative control over the storyline, or maybe not control, but like any kind of influence where they could say like, hey, I think this would be kind of cool, and then maybe somebody would take it into consideration?
Well, it would be when it came to like some of our beat downs and stuff like that, to where they would come up with, oh, this week you guys are doing this. And then while we're going through it, we're just like, all right, so when we're going through here, it's okay to destroy this and do this and everything. And then like the writers and the camera guys was like, yeah, but just don't throw it towards us this way, because we don't want to get hit. But yeah, destroy all of this. Like all of this is for y'all to destroy. And we were like demolition men, walking around destroying locker rooms, hallways, limos, buildings, rings, people. Like it was just one of those things where like they would tell us what to do, but while we were doing it, like we would kind of just go a little bit more, just so it can be more exciting and more fun. But we never got in trouble with anything until like the very first time we ever did it. And that was with Daniel Bryan choking out Justin Roberts.
Interesting.
But it was like whenever we did do Nexus, the only direction we had was don't hit a fan and don't touch a camera, but destroy anybody and everybody around, like inside the barrier, like the barricade. So we just was like, all right, okay, easy enough. And that's what we did. So I don't understand why Daniel got fired. To me, it was BS. So I don't know.
Totally agree, man. I mean, hey, your job was go in there, destroy. You went in there, did that, and all of a sudden you get in trouble for it. What's
right? Exactly. Like, just tell him not to do it again. Don't release him. Shoot. Totally
agree. But one funny fact that I have looked into a little bit, you're the second to last Nexus member to have left WWE. That's kind of crazy to me, looking at everybody else that was a part of it, and just you were the second to last one, man. You really lasted out everyone else except Daniel Bryan, which, I mean, he is great in doing his thing. He's always been a very good performer, but it's just kind of insane to me. How does that make you feel, just knowing that?
I didn't even know that until you told me, actually. So, yeah, yeah, it's cool, I guess. Yeah, longevity's the key, man. That's what they say.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, man, dude, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, shoot, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, man, from your debut and everything, you went that long. That's something that I'm not sure anybody else can really talk about as much as like a faction that was so prominent in its time, and then all of a sudden kind of dispersed, and everybody else kind of felt like everybody scrambled for their spots and everybody got rebranded and everything. You were the one that outlasted pretty much everybody. And that's kind of wild.
That is wild. Well, would you look at that?
Teaching you stuff about your own career.
I'm like, dude, for real. Dude, there was this kid came up to me at this signing, literally told me about this match with me and Christian that we had. And I literally just was like, me and Christian. I was like, and for some reason, my mind went to, he was my pro in NXT, but we never had a match type deal. But then the kid was like, no, I'm talking about when y'all wrestled and you were in 3-on-B. And I was like, did I wrestle Christian when I was in 3-on-B? And then next thing you knew, this kid just loaded up on YouTube and was like, here it is, I said, sit down, man. It was like 6 minutes or something. So I sat down, me and him just watched it together. And I'm like telling him like, oh yeah, this and that, and I started calling the match with him. But yeah, I was just like, dang, I did work Christian. Here I am just forgetting stuff.
Guess it happens after a while.
Too many hits to the head, man.
I hear that. Scully, you want to go next, man?
Well, to be fair, you've worked with a lot of talent, so I can't imagine you forgetting that. But speaking about talent, I don't want to skip too far ahead, but I was watching. I remember it fondly, and I thought I'm going to watch it earlier, and watching all your matches with the legends.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. And you had Vader, obviously no longer with us. Sid, no longer with us. I really liked Sid as well. I think it was a bit. I thought he had quite a lot of charisma, and he was quite funny as well.
Brother, I love like growing up. Vader, Sid, like those big guys, Bam Bam Bigelow, like all those dudes were like, I was in awe of them. And then, 20-something years later, here I am talking junk about these old farts that shouldn't be here and these young guys should take over. And then here I am in the ring with Vader and Sid. I mean, that lineup, man, it was like I had Vader, Sid, Kishi, Piper, Sidney Lauper, Bob Backlund, DDP, Doink, Animal from the Road Warrior. Yeah, so like that lineup was pretty damn sweet.
And Lita beat you, didn't she?
Hey, yeah, Lita. But she had a lot of help,
Yeah, APA.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She probably beat me up too, but she had a lot of help that night.
I gotta say as well, the way you sold that clothesline from Al, man.
Brother, hey, I tell everybody I had the best one. Top mine. Top it.
I was going to ask as well, who hurt you more, Rikishi or Vader when they squashed you?
Honestly, I'd have to say it was Vader, man. Yeah. Hey, you know what's wild? Think about this. So all these men that I got in the ring with, all of them back 20 years ago, they were like supposedly, mean, push around, I'm going to beat you up if you don't do this, da, 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 da. So I got the more humbled old men versions of that, So like they were cool as heck to me, man. They were so cool to me. And Vader's in there. It was me, Vader, and then Mike Rotundo, IRS. He was our agent. So Mike's sitting there and Mike's saying, what do you want to do to come back, this and that? And Vader's like talking me up, being like, yeah, man, you can do this with me. You can try to body slam me. I'll fall on you and everything. I'm like, well, what? I was like, all right, man, heck yeah, we can do that, But when it went to the finish, Mike was like, so when you finish, you want to do the power bomb? You want to do the Vader bomb? What are you thinking? And Vader literally did that whole old man where you spread your legs and put your hand on your knee. And he's like, looking. Next thing you know, he was like, I think I can do the moonsault. And I'm sitting there like, whoa, what? No, what? And like, it's like, this is big Vader, older Vader, all of this. And I remember I'm looking over at Mike Rotundo and I'm like, Mike, oh, no, no. And then I remember Mike was giggling and like he used to dip all the time. He like spit in his bottle. He was like, nah, we don't need that moonsault. He was like, just hit that Vader bomb, So I'm like, oh, thanks, Mike. But Vader confidently, man, was like, you know what? I think I could hit the moonsault. And I'm just like, what? Oh, no.
Please, sir. Please, no. I don't know if the ring post can support it anymore.
I really don't think we need that. I will sell so good on that Vader bomb.
I did enjoy it as well. The way before every match you stole their quote. So like it's Heath Slater time or whatever.
Oh yeah, man.
And then he came out, and then when you said about I am a clown, and then Doink the Clown comes out, and it was all set up, but it was quite funny.
But it was just one of those things to where I showed up at the building. I went to TR. I looked on the little sheet because they always have a rough draft up there, and you always got to go to TR to check in. And I look up there and I see Heath versus Vader, and I'm just like, man, they putting Hornswoggle in a Vader costume, and he's gonna beat me up or something. Like, what's happening? And then Carano was the TR guy at the time, and he just was like, nah, bro, like, you're working Vader. Like, leading up to Raw 1000, we're bringing in some legends each week, and we're just going to put some guys with them. And I'm like, I'm not going to be the guy that put with all of them. He's like, no, we're just going to float people through. I'm like, no. I was like, let this be me, So I looked for my agent, saw it was Mike, went to Mike, pitched to Mike. Mike was like, good idea, but go tell Vince. So I went to Vince's door, knocked on it, walked in, told Vince what I was like, let me be like and I told him actually what I said, let me be opposite of Randy Orton. I said, he's the legend killer. Let me be the legend builder. I said, let me go down, talk this junk, give me a 1-minute promo, have them come down, hit their greatest hits, and I'll be out, And Vince literally looked at me and was like, you would want to do that? And I'm just like, yeah, I would love to do that, you know? And then he said okay with it. So I became the guy, you know? So I had a spot on Raw and SmackDown each week, cutting a promo, face on television, working a childhood, you know, like a, you know, legend that I've watched as a child. So I'm just sitting in like, I'm in heaven. I'm like, man, this is awesome, you know? So to me, it was like a pat on the back to where I can be like, man, I am working these guys that I looked up to that got me wanting to wrestle. And like, no one else can say they did that. I mean, shoot, sad to say, but like Vader, Sid, those guys, like Animal, I had all their last matches, you know? Rest in peace to all of them. Animal Story. Sorry, we're talking about legends here. Animal Story. John Laurinaitis came in and he was like, Heath, you know, Joe wants to talk to you, you know, come on over here. So I go into the locker room and everything, and Animal's sitting there right there, like putting his face paint on. And he was like, hey, Heath, man, we're working tonight, you know, shakes my hand, talking to me, turns back around, keeps putting his face paint on while we're calling the match to each other. To where I'm like, this is so cool. Like, I am watching Animal paint his face up and we're calling the match together, you know? Like, I'm watching him get ready. And like, as a kid, you're always like, man, they got the cool face paint and shoulder pads, you know? And it's like, I'm watching him do his stick in the back, you know? So it was just cool, man. I wished I had like a video camera, like not be a mark though, but be like, oh, look how cool this is, you know?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I don't feel like that's being a mark necessarily to go through and be like,
oh, no, totally. It is being a mark. It's just one of those things like if WWE was doing it, though, to where I can at least mark out for it, being like, oh, that was so cool. But if you whip out your own camera and do it, yeah, they're going to be like, kid, what the hell are you doing?
Maybe, but I kind of see it as like documenting your experiences a little bit, and just to like quickly say like in a vlog thing, like, yeah, right before this match, you know, me and Animal talking about it or whatever, especially if it's like from a view that isn't your own, I guess it'd be kind of nice. But, you know, I guess my thinking is like nice to preserve that moment, be able to look back later at some point, or even show the grandkids at some point way in the future and be like, yeah, there's a point where I was facing all the legends that I grew up watching myself. And that is kind of like a childhood dream circuit right there that you were doing, man. I mean, you're going against all the legends.
Dude, literally, what you just said is what everyone is doing now. But the way 20 years ago we were taught, you never do that. If you do that, like, they would haze you. They would kick you out of the locker room. You know what I mean? Like, anything like that, man. Like, it's like sacred ground back there. It's like the safe zone. Like, cameras don't exist with the boys. But nowadays, it's like you go back and everything, and you're like, everyone's like, oh, crap, man, how you been? Take that picture. One, because you never know the next time you're going to see somebody. You know what I mean? So it is cool to do that. And I wished I did do that 20 years ago. But it was one of those things where, like, if you did it then, they beat you up.
Yeah, that's true. They probably would have. I mean, that's still with some of the old timers that were really deep into kayfabe, so they probably didn't want everything to be put out there from what's going on back there with you guys. So I guess that makes sense. You know, the old kayfabe rules and everything.
For sure. Some of the old timers will hear me talk about me doing this stuff with the guys in the back and how it was, and they'll be like, oh, why is he giving it up? Why are they saying that? And it's like, brother, come on, man. Everybody knows now. Like, I understand we kept it a secret for a very long time, but the secret's out. But it's respect now. It's the respect of, man, these guys are going out there putting their body through this. These guys are traveling these roads this long, this like away from families for the, you know, weeks, months, you know, all this stuff. And I mean, it is grueling, and it does take a toll on you. I mean, the traveling alone is more than we do in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, we get a good 15 minutes out there in the spotlight and the camera and feel the energy of the people. And then after that, you're in the shower, going to get in a rental car, driving to the next town, checking in late, waking up early, getting breakfast, hitting the gym, going to the next event. After that, Groundhog Day, going to the next town, going in late. You know, it's just same thing over and over again.
Exactly. And something that some people might forget about, you guys aren't just wrestling at that point. You do meet and greets and everything. You guys are also doing house shows. It's not just what you guys see on TV. You got the house show matches and everything. So you're going in between to these other towns that are like, oh yeah, I got to hit OKC before I go down to Dallas or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's so much harder when it's like, you're not just doing what they see on TV. Like, oh yeah, they only work for like 15 minutes. No, they got to keep up their physique. They got to diet, obviously, with that. So that's working out, dieting, keeping on a good travel schedule, which that's got to be hard to do all three of those alone.
Oh, yeah.
So
it just does not stop. And it's one of those things where, like, I saw on Netflix, WWE has this, I forget the name of it, but it shows more of the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, yeah. Unreal, I think it's called.
Oh, I think there you go. But they show like behind the scenes of WWE, but not the wrestler, like how they do travel, how often they have to do this and that, like and all that. But I'm sure it will get there. But that right there opened a lot of people's eyes of like, dang, they do all of this. They have to do all this to set up, and then they have to wake up this early, prep here, do that. Like, there's a lot that goes behind it, man. And like I said, you do all that prepping, all that traveling, all of that for 15 minutes of what you love.
Exactly. Got to go out there, give the fans what they want to see for however long. And it's not a crazy long amount of time. It's just enough for them to see you, remember your name. So you got to make your mark on everybody,
Damn right. Yes, you do.
Scully, you want to take over, man?
Yeah. So, just listening now. My question is regarding 3MB. So obviously you had you, Jinder, Drew. It kind of annoys me, but there's still time. You're still young. You're the only one that won the world title.
For sure.
But you can still do it. There's time. Do you think they'll ever let you come and do it, do you reckon?
Man, it's one of those things to where if they put the right story, because man, I have ideas, and I know for a fact 2 of them will work so good, but it's just, I hear now that WWE ain't really have control over it. It's more TKO, so they're making a lot of the rules. When it comes to hiring and everything, it's more on a budget now and not who the guy is. I mean, look at Cross. He was getting over. The fans was wanting to see him, this and that, da-da-da-da. But they still released him to where you're just like, man, like, if they're after him, keep him for another 6 months. Let him get over, like, at least try. But it just won't happen because it's not WWE, I hear. I hear it's the TKO bunch that's doing it. So it's like, who knows what can happen? I always tell everybody, I'm like, man, just let's roll the dice. Just hit my music number 20 in the Rumble. Let me come out, and let's just see what happens, I'll come down in the ring. I'll hit my little greatest hits. I'll shake my hips and give a little, whatever, and throw me out. Like, who cares? But it's just one of those things like, man. And another thing about the Rumble, that's my favorite event ever. Love it ever since I was.
And mine.
Yeah, bro, I've loved it since I was a kid.
92 is my favorite. 92
right, dude, 92 is great. That's a good one. But it's like, I love the surprises. Like, I believe, like, if there's 30 people in the Rumble and you have storylines with these 25 of them, use those 25 and work the storylines in with the Rumble. But my God, dude, you need 5 surprises. You need a Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You need a daggone Heath Slater or a Zack Ryder. You know what I mean? Like, you need those surprises where the people are like, oh, what? No way. What? I mean, man, that's what makes it so much, to me, that's what makes it so fun. You know what I mean? Like the kid Joe Hendry. One of the most nervous kids I've ever met in the wrestling business. But he is over as heck, and the people love him. Catchy song, has a little stick that he does. People like it, But it's like, when his music hit, even at Mania with Orton, you know what I mean? Like, those moments, like, people don't expect that. you don't expect that. But when it happens, they blow up, man. It's like, that's what you want. And I feel like even me, like if my music hit at the Rumble, say number 5 or 6, like whatever, I think people will remember and get a pop.
You'll get a loud pop.
You know what I mean? And I mean, like, and I know I'm not going to win it. It's just like, man, this is going to be a cool moment. Let me have my wife and kids here so they can enjoy it with me. Don't even pay me. I don't need a payday. Just let me go and do it. It's fun. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the Rumble is missing that. They're missing that, the older guys that can still go having their, hit. Like, I would still pop if Booker T popped out, Boom, his music hit. He comes down, does some scissor kicks, a spinner Rooney, and someone throws him out. Like, who cares? But it's like, I feel like people miss that about the Rumble. And I wish they would bring that back, 5 little spots. Hell, 4 spots, But man,
I think it's kind of ruined now as well because you kind of know who's going to, like,
win.
If there is a surprise, a win as well. Everyone predicted Jey Uso is going to win. Let's be honest. Yeah. Everyone predicted Cody Rhodes was going to win.
Yeah,
twice in a row, which is a bit boring, isn't it? You want a bit of, I don't know. Let's go back to how it used to be, where you don't know who's going to win and it's unpredictable.
But you gotta remember though, back when it used to be, the internet wasn't as wild as it is. Everyone didn't have a camera in their phone everywhere they went. You know what I mean? So like, if I say I was even in an airport in Vegas, if the Royal Rumble's in Vegas and they see me in the Vegas airport, they're going to do is, oh, he's in the Rumble. You know what I mean? Like, it's that easy to get caught anymore, So it's like, it's hard to keep those surprises. But man, when they do, it's so much fun, So totally much fun to have them, Oh, yeah.
Something that I could see happening with that. What if they were to give you like a front row ticket sort of thing? And obviously you would know ahead of time, but, keep it completely secret from the crowd. But it's like, well, all right, he's at the event, but, he's obviously not going to come down the ramp or anything. All of a sudden your music hits, you like stand up, take your shirt off, jump over the barricade, like, okay, I'm here, guys, just go running in. I feel like that'd be an entertaining spot.
Brother, if I could have me and my family right there, and while that happens, I would jump that barricade so fast. I'll be hitting my greatest hits, bro.
I can see it. And we actually mentioned 3MB, and I know that you were kind of close with Jinder and everything. I'm pretty sure I saw you guys earlier this year at the For the Love of Wrestling convention and the night before. You guys go to Nando's the night before?
We did, man. Yes. Like there's that gym right across the street from Nando's. And me, Jinder, and Fandango went to that gym, worked out and everything. And Dango loves some Nando's. And we went over there and ate and everything. So, yeah. But you should have came and said hi, man.
So I was seated like a little bit behind you guys, and I was like, I don't really want to bug them while they're like doing this thing. But I was kind of thinking in the back of my head, like, maybe I can just go over and like just ask them about if any of them would be interested in coming on the podcast or anything. But I don't want to bother them while they're doing this. And I see some kids walk over and they got like pictures and autographs with you. I'm like, all right, they're at least nice dudes. I really appreciate that about these guys. You're taking the time, giving it back to the fans at least. And I do want to ask you, did you enjoy Nando's?
I love Nando's. I've always been a fan of Nando's. I remember whenever we would go on tour, when it was in Europe, and they would always have Nando's on the bus for us. And it'd be either the wraps, the salad, or the bone-in chicken. So we would all literally just go up there and just, all right, I want this wrap. And they would have the sauces too. Just put that sauce on it.
Do you have the spiciest one, the hottest one?
No, like, don't get me wrong. I like spice. I'm a spicy fan. But, man, I don't want to have to cry and sweat my insides out. I don't need that much spice. Okay?
To be fair, I'm the same as you. But I don't think it's like a hot spice. It's like it's kind of a weird taste to normal spicy food, I think. So I reckon you could handle it.
I probably could, but no, dude, Nando's is a go-to for sure while we're over there, and it's good, man. It's a good spot.
Yeah, I like it too, man. Usually when I go there, I get the wing roulette. What are you looking for usually?
I usually go with the wraps, man. Whatever chicken wrap it is that I'm wanting.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. I mean, so seeing you hanging out with Fandango and Jinder, sorry, I forgot his name for a second, but I remember I specifically saw Jinder's nose, and that's what kind of gave it away because it's a very prominent feature of his. So, are you close with those guys, even outside of bookings and everything, or?
Man, all right, think about this. So, me, Jinder, Drew, and Dango. I've known Dango since Deep South, 20 some years ago. 20s. I don't remember when Deep South was. 2006, maybe. So, 20 years, man. So I've lived with Dango whenever we went to FCW. We were roommates. Some wild, wild fun times then. Young 20s living in Tampa, Florida, having a good time. But Jinder and Dango, I mean, this goes with Drew too, man. Drew's my brother, like, period. But Jinder just got married probably last month. No, June. In June, I think. No. Yeah. Man, it was a couple months ago. But we all went up there for it, man. Me, Dango, Drew, like a PJ, Justin Gabriel.
Oh, yeah.
So we all were up there for Jinder's wedding, man. And we're like I said, like 3 on B, everyone thinks that's when me, Jinder, and Drew became like best buds. But it was before that. Like we were in developmental together, and we all would go out in Tampa and St. Pete and Clearwater together and like party and have a good time. It was just coincidence that, like, I didn't even want them in my band, like I was asking for a whole different roster, and then next thing you know, I get Jinder and Drew, and I'm just like, that sounds like a bad joke, like a Scotsman, an Indian, and a redneck walks into a bar, and it's like, what? So, but it was funny because like that just strengthened their relationship is what it did, man. We got to travel the world together. We, see cities, have experiences, that we, would love and cherish forever. And Jinder gets married. We're all up there for his wedding and everything. And then he takes a picture of all of us in the Indian suits and turbans, and that thing goes viral, So it was like, heck yeah, 3 on B, baby. But next week, Fandango's getting married, and I'm in his wedding. So I'm going up to Maine on Friday. Me and my wife is. My mom's coming down, Nana. She's coming down to watch the girls and hang out with them for about 3 or 4 days. And me and Steph's going up there, and I'm in Fandango's wedding next week. So yeah, man. Like it's like people think, oh, they're not really friends, this and that, but it's like, nah, we are, man. It's like, we're best buds, dude. So yeah, man. It's like when you spend 20 years with somebody, you really get to know who they are, So, we love each other, man.
That's cool, man. I'm glad you got to be close with, even if it may have started out as coworkers or just even gym buddies in the beginning. Yeah. It's cool that you guys got to that level of closeness, man. I'm really glad that you got to have that relationship and everything. And something else I did want to ask about, because at that same convention, I listened to your Q&A, and something that you had mentioned was about not getting drafted and everything, and how the behind the scenes had worked for that. And I thought it was interesting just hearing that you said, I believe it was JBL's idea.
Brother, that was all JBL, man. Here. So, yeah, all right. So I can honestly say that my career, I've been, the underdog / put the guys. I don't like the word jobber because everyone's made it, they tarnished it. But it's like every daggone guy that they say that is a jobber is like one of the best technical wrestlers, ring awareness, don't hurt nobody type of wrestlers there is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they put everyone over so you would cheer for that other guy that they're wanting to make look like a monster, So it's like behind the scenes, it's like you want to help those guys because they make you look amazing, So it's like, I don't know, the word bothers me anyway. But what was the question you asked me?
So it was about the whole situation, how the behind the scenes that worked out with not being drafted and what the
JBL.
whole yeah.
So the time. So the whole time that's going on, I'm just like, daggone it, man. I need to get drafted. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need a little push, this and that. And then JBL, because when the draft happens, that they have a TV there and then all these chairs lined up so they can record it and all that stuff. So you're all sitting in a chair. So I was there early and I'm just like sitting in the chair, just chilling. And JBL sits right beside him and he's like, hey kid, you're not getting drafted tonight. And I'm just like, what do you mean? He was like, they're going to run through the whole draft and you're not going to get drafted. I said, what the hell? What do you mean I'm not going to get drafted? This sucks. Like I'm just complaining. And then they say, he's like, listen, kid. He was like, it was my idea. Vince loves it. And then he said, the only person they're going to remember that gets drafted is number one. He was like, and you know who else they're going to remember that didn't get drafted? The guy that doesn't get drafted. And I'm like, huh. And then my mind started going, and I was like, dude, I can just go around saying I'm a free agent. I can bounce from promotion to promotion, this and that. And he was like, now you're thinking stupid, like, there you go. JBL's always been like an uncle to me, man. Like, we would meet at the bar, have a few drinks, have a little meal, talk crap to each other. He would always help me out when I needed help, like that. He's always just been that, just really cool to me, man. Just really like a down to earth, like uncle to me. So when he told me that at first, I didn't get it and I was mad. But the next thing you know, man, once it happened and they made something of it and then they had me going back and forth trying to get jobs and stuff, like it started catching on to where the people had sympathy and they were like, give him a job, man. Like they started getting behind me to where I was like, holy crap, like this is really working. Like this is great. So it was a fun time and it got me to like really enjoy wrestling again because there was a period there for like a good year where I just was that guy that would come out and, all right, let me get you over, kid, So thank God it turned around a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair, man. I mean, coming out, that could definitely be discouraging if every time it's just your job is to lose. But I mean, I wouldn't call it being a jobber at that point. I'm not exactly sure what to call it, but I almost want to say like a developer role in a way.
Right.
It kind of was. Yeah.
I mean, I want to say that's what a jobber is. It's just the way they say it and the way that they tarnished it throughout the years. You know what I mean? But yeah, a developer is way better because that's exactly what you're kind of doing.
Agreed. Scully, you want to take over, man?
Hottest free agent. I wanted to speak.
I was. I
want to speak about the Brock Lesnar thing because that's obviously entertaining. Not for it wasn't for you because you got because you went to Suplex City, but
dude, I went to Suplex City and like 3 different gimmicks of mine with him, man. The one-man band went through it. The daggone 3MB went through it. Next thing you know, the I Got Kids guy went through it. Say, geez, bro, I hate this city.
Did you know he was going to say to you, I don't give a about
No, man. Like, I didn't. The whole I Got Kids stuff came from that skit, and it was a brain fart. Like, they give you... When you do a promo with Paul Heyman, it's a 10-minute promo, and you got to memorize a lot of stuff. My mind, bro, I can't memorize crap. You know what I mean? Like, I try my best, and then, like, I try to put in my own words and go out there and do it. But, man, it was him spitting, I'm spitting, him spitting, I'm spitting. Next thing you know, I'm just like, oh, what's next? And then he says his line, and brother, I had nothing. I'm just like, it'll come back. It never came back. And then that's when the whole, daggone it, I know I'm going to get my butt kicked, and I know he'll kick my butt. Everyone knows it. But damn it, I got kids. I need this job. And I said that line and everything, and Paul Heyman looks at me like a confused dog, like, what? And then he says the next line, and then it started coming back to me being like, oh, okay, now I'm in like the challenging mode. Like I have to do this thing. But there's a whole nother paragraph back there I was supposed to say and not what I said, you know? So
I think it worked out for the better, to be fair.
Brother, it worked out great. And what's funny is that Road Dogg was my agent. So I get up there, I do the thing because Paul Heyman said that he was just going to ignore me and that I was supposed to get their attention. But Brock was never supposed to grab the mic. I was supposed to just get in the ring and go up to Paul Heyman, and Brock's supposed to F5 me. But next thing you know, Brock grabs the mic, and I'm like, where are we going? What's going on? You know? And then what y'all saw is what happened, man. But what's funny is that we get in the back, and Road Dogg, and like Vince stands up, and he's like, what? Come here, you know, and he's laughing. And I walk over, and he's like, I got kids. I need this job. Oh, that was great. You know, and I'm like, thank you. You know, like, yeah, I planned it. I'm so clever, you know. I go, and then Road Dogg like pats Vince, like, yeah, I'm going to go talk to him, this and that. Vince is like doing one of these where he's putting his headset back on because he has to conduct everything. And Road Dogg pulls me out of Gorilla. He was like, what in the world was that, you hillbilly? He was like, I got kids. I need this job. What? And then we just started laughing. He was like, he loved it. He said it worked, you know. And the next thing you know, man, I'm in a video game with the shirt, an action figure, cards, you know, like it just rolled, man. It just started going.
So
I think I need one of those T-shirts. I got kids too.
Right? Hey, it was a good one. I got them for sale over here, man.
I might buy one then.
Next time I'm over there in the UK, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't realize that. Well, that was at a point where I wasn't really watching too much of wrestling, but so that whole thing came from just one line that you improvised at that point.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's genius.
Yep. Yeah, right. Hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. This one just was, it was a straight strike, and I knocked it out the park.
To be fair, I thought it was genius when you said, when you went to say, Brock, and you cut him off and went, hey, or whatever. Yeah.
Don't disrespect me.
Yeah, even that was entertaining.
Well, that was planned. That part was.
Oh, that part was.
Yeah, that was when I was going to get in there and talk junk to Paul Heyman, and then I was going to get F5. But we went this way.
Took a literal detour to Suplex City.
I did. I went around the city, but ended up right in the middle of it.
It all worked out either way. And
it did.
So something that I do want to ask you about. So who would be your dream opponent if you were to be able to choose anybody from history to go up against?
Sting.
Sting?
Oh, yeah. I would love to work Sting.
Which Sting? The blonde Sting or the crow Sting?
Both of them, man.
Yeah.
I would like to work the blonde Sting as a heel, and then the crow Sting. Yeah, probably as a heel also. Because Sting would always be a bigger baby than me anyway. But no, yeah, I'd love to get in the ring with Sting, man. He was the one that I idolized growing up, loved growing up, caught my eye. He was my guy back when I was a kid, even through like high school and stuff. But, I mean, of course, you know, you like a lot of others, but Sting was my guy, you know? So
I remember I had blonde hair and I had a little flat top when I was a kid, just like Sting.
Dude.
Yeah,
I had the same thing.
And a gay little ponytail down here.
Yeah, we got a little rat's tail.
Yeah.
I had it too, man. Heck yeah.
So, follow-up question to that. At that convention we were at, Sting was there. Did you get to like speak with him or anything, or have you had interactions with him before? Or? Oh
yeah, man. Me, Sting, and Fandango was in the same bus riding to the hotel from the airport. So yeah, I got to see Sting's last match. You know, so it was up literally like an hour and a half from where I live, maybe 2 hours. But I got to go backstage at AEW and watch his last match up there, man. So that was pretty cool. But no, I've talked to him. We've spoken. It's cool. They always say don't meet your heroes, but I think you just got wrong. You picked the wrong hero if you don't want to meet him, man. And it's not cool, you know. But Sting, man, Sting was awesome.
Yeah, I hear that. He seemed like a cool guy. He seemed very booked out because like everybody bought up every possible slot for him for signings and for pictures and everything. So he was busy. I remember he was only there for I think the one day, so he was just nonstop with everybody.
He kind of felt bad for him. Oh yeah, they rush him through like sheep, man. But nah, he's always a popular guest anywhere he goes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a legend for sure.
Yeah, I seen Sting in WCW live in Birmingham, England. When
you did?
Yeah, I can't remember who was on the card, but I know that there was Sting, Goldberg, Jeff Jarrett, and all that. And
so that was in the 90s then.
Yeah, my guy, my WCW guy was Jeff Jarrett.
Double J.
Yeah, see, I don't know why, but I always like the heels, man. I'm just the heel guy. So
no, I'm with you. I like when I started understanding wrestling, I was like, oh, the bad guys are so much more funner. You know, even whenever you are in the ring and you're the wrestler, a baby face or a heel, it's so much more fun to be in the bad guy, man. Like it is so much more fun. I want to be a bad guy. Like I want to like turn heel somewhere on like a legit company and then being like, yeah, I got rid of my damn kids, man. I don't want them no more. Like just flip script, you know?
That'd be hilarious.
Be like the deadbeat dad, you know? That'd be hilarious. Be like Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons, you know?
I could definitely see it, just a complete heel turn. But I could also see, what if you were to, like, once again, jump the barricade and just start attacking Wade Barrett and just, you wasted my prime on that Nexus crap. I think that'd be an interesting segue into it. But then who's the heel and who's the face?
Or have Wade Barrett at NXT one time commentating, and then Nexus comes back and destroys that arena.
That'd be interesting.
Cool. You know, start at the foundation, because that right there was the first, man. We were the first NXT season 1. We just turned into Nexus. So if anyone laid a foundation, it was definitely Nexus.
The thing is, with that group, though, who some won't come back, though, would they?
The only one that has signed to a contract that's not in WWE is Daniel Bryan. But if you think about it, Daniel Bryan was in season 1 of NXT. He was in the first night of Nexus, and then he got released. So he didn't really do Nexus. You know what I mean? He came back at SummerSlam and helped John Cena and then beat us. So he never really, he started with us, got released, changed his mind, come back and went against us, you know?
Yeah.
But if we have that original 7 that already could get signed tomorrow, you know?
Do you think Ryback would do it then? Because
he definitely would.
Do you reckon?
It's what I believe. I believe if he got to speak to somebody and they actually talked, yes, he would sign. You know, I mean, we all would. Me personally, just because I'm like, heck yeah, I only got 5 more years of this. I want to at least get it out up there, you know. But I would just do it just because I feel like Nexus got cut short. And we were boys then. Now we're men. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's of course we ain't going to go out there and throw out, 5-star matches every night. But it's the suspense, the theater, the Shakespeare of it all. Holy crap. Nexus is back. Let us destroy some stuff. Give us a few matches, and hell, let us conquer a little bit and then beat us up.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But all right, so we are coming to the end of the show here, and like we always like to do here at Wrestle Magic, Mr. Miller, do you have any sort of recommendations for the audience? It can be movie, TV show, video game, cat breed, cactus, I don't know, variant, whatever you really like and you think the fans would appreciate as well.
A music album, maybe.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know I'm sure everyone has it, but I'm a secret Fortnite player, and I love playing Fortnite with, me, my kids, and all their friends. We all jump in there. We all have a good time. But yeah, and I like to work out a lot. Not to be like muscle man in shape. I just like to be able to just be in shape. So those are like two. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, man. Like anything that you like, that you'd recommend for the audience, man.
Yeah, I reckon my boy would beat you at Fortnite. He's quite good.
Hey, he might. Dude, hey, there's some kids on there that my daughters are like, you're playing with someone that's like 11, right? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not talking to him or nothing. I'm just trying to kill everybody with the Terminator.
Valid. I mean, yeah, some of those kids really are cracked at those games, no lie. But, my recommendation for the night, I'm going to counter that with Apex Legends, just because, I'll be honest, I don't know why, I just like the Apex vibe a little bit better, but Fortnite isn't bad, and I appreciate that they kept it free, and it's like, yeah, you can buy DLCs and whatever else, but you don't have to. You can just play the game. And that's what I really like about it.
Yeah, I like that about it, too. And it's a cool game.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. Nah. So, Scully, what about you, man? You got a recommendation for the audience?
Yeah, seeing as we're going with video games, I'm going to say Undisputed. Michael Scully here. Game? Yeah, the boxing game. So Michael Scully here just finished his career. I had every single bout.
Did you use a cheat code and put up your strength to 10?
It took me ages. And they don't it doesn't let you retire until you're 50.
Oh, okay.
Which I think's quite old, to be fair, for a boxer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I was like, I tried to retire, but your manager's like, you're not old enough yet, or whatever. I was like, come on,
I am.
Yeah, I got all the belts. Let me finish the game, man.
Yeah, I'm done, son.
Yeah, but yeah, it's quite. I mean, there is some boxers who should be on it who aren't on it, but I guess they never agreed.
They didn't sign that deal. Is what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly what happened.
But yeah, I would recommend that game. It's all right.
I'm a huge boxing fan, though. Like I used to box when I was younger, so I was wanting to get the game, but I'm that guy that's like, man, that's $60. I'll wait until it's $39.99. So I always wait till it goes down, but I haven't looked on it anymore to see how much it was to get it. But I was wanting. I heard it was fun to play. Also, like the gameplay was fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think you'll like it if you like boxing. So
yeah. Have you played the UFC game?
Not the most recent one. In all fairness, I kind of, because it's EA, they get repetitive, don't they? Like FIFA. So obviously UK FC 25, whatever. It's the same bloody game as the one before. Do you know?
For sure. Yeah.
So I kind of find that with UFC as well. They just, they've updated a little bit and they got new people on the roster, but it's mainly
the gameplay is all the same. Yeah.
And the annoying thing is you have to start all over again from the beginning. So.
Well, yeah, it's a new game, of course.
Yeah, they should let you continue. You know what I mean?
You won't get no higher, man.
And that's true.
Everybody can't be John Jones.
Yeah, that's true.
Very true. Well, Mr. Miller, really appreciate your time and being on the show. It's been a really fun interview this time around. And for everybody at home, let the fans know where to reach you and some things that you're going to be doing in the near future.
And man, I'm doing some indie shows and some other shows on the weekends. On the weekdays, I'm being a dad, taking my girls to jiu-jitsu, flag football, volleyball, and guitar practice. So it was my schedules has shifted a little bit. I work the weekends and not the weekdays anymore. But I got a pro wrestling tee shirt store on their website. I'm on the Major Pod. If you want to join that, I have Heath's Happy Hour. And I'm on Instagram and Twitter. It's Heath with the Roman numerals XXII for 22. And if anyone else is talking to you on whatever all the other social media stuff is, it's not me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Fair enough. So has there been like some scams in the past or?
Oh no, like when I go on Instagram or Twitter, man, and I just type in my name, like 100 thing pops up saying that they're me.
I follow you, the proper one. So.
Okay, yeah, good.
We'll definitely share it to the correct one. But yeah, we've heard about this in the past. Like I believe it was Chavo Guerrero. There was some random other accounts where it was posing as him and everything, and they were saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm selling all this signed stuff," and then they would get the money and then block the person.
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
So yeah, so many.
Jay Uso tried to sell me some Yeet sunglasses, but it obviously weren't him. But
I'm about to say, yeah, it was not him. Oh man, see, that's what I'm saying. People be doing some dumb crap, man.
Definitely. So yeah, listeners, be aware. Don't fall for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, please don't.
Especially if Heath tries to sell his kids as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I won't sell all of them. I might sell a couple, man. I don't know.
Fair enough. All right, Scully, you want to let the audience know where to reach you and any final words?
Yeah, so we've got an Instagram, a TikTok. We've recently joined X. So we got the Wrestle Magic Pod. And we're also on YouTube, so please subscribe to the channel so you can see great interviews like this one with Heath.
Awesome. So you guys know how I always end the show. You can always find me on Twitter at MaintenanceMav or X, whatever it's called at this point. And as always, do something nice for somebody. You never know who needs it out there. Somebody might need to pick me up. Somebody's going through something. You never know what it is. Help your fellow man out. And with that, in the words of my old friend Memphis Mark, we're out.